which I think was probably
Second, right?
Sorry, what's that?
Your second.
Second. Yeah. Yeah, second album.
Yeah, close, whatever.
Either way, this album for me, I remember first encountering references to Sade on that internet track, where the lyric goes, "Why are you dancing like your name's Sade?" And I didn't quite understand the reference at the time. And the more, like, as the years went by, as I like sort of got deeper into finding, samples for stuff, you know, uh, figuring out who's referencing who, trying to get oriented to the whole R&B genre over the past couple of years, Sade kept coming up, and eventually I told myself, I was like, all right, like, I gotta sit down and listen to a Sade album. And although I listened to Lovers Rock first, Promise, I think, is undoubtedly one of her strongest bodies of work that she's ever produced. I mean, starting off with Is It a Crime, where it opens up with that huge sax hook, and then there is this grand arrangement. They've got like the walking bass line. There are so many different elements in this album that come together to form something that's incredibly phenomenal in my mind. The lyrics are poignant, and they're gonna move you emotionally. The sort of production is smooth and silky while also being willing to hold back. It's I don't think you can listen to this album and not feel something. Put it that way. And I keep coming back to this. I think that War of the Hearts, for example, is a phenomenal track. I, there are so many good notes on this album that I almost can't bring myself to even want to find anything wrong with it. There are a couple of moments here and there where I think the songs might be a little bit longer than I might initially prefer, but generally that's in service of this kind of bigger I want to say like tendency to just let the tracks breathe and let the sounds kind of like build and like crescendo and sort of diminuendo and kind of build on each other and then rein it back in. And I think that generally is a good thing on the album. But I am so fascinated to hear if you guys liked it as much as I did, or if there are things that like stood out to you guys.
Yeah, so I love Sade. I've only listened to the first album, Diamond Life, but I listened to that a good amount. Big fan of that album. It's got like Smooth Operator, Love Is King, Your Love Is King. But you know what? I don't know why I've never listened to any of the other ones, but going into this one, you can tell that it's very similar to Diamond Life. It feels just like a part two almost, but just it feels like a little bit like longer. And I think I actually might. I mean, if I listen to it more, I might like it better. It feels like it's just some of the songs are a little stronger. I feel like obviously Sweetest Taboo, classic. Jezebel, big fan of the song Jezebel, rocking to that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really glad you picked this one. It was just such a good vibe. I was walking home from work and like kind of like it was very warm out with like a little bit of drizzly rain. I was just like vibing on my walk home. So I was so into it.
That sounds like just about the perfect way to listen to a Sade album.
Yeah, it was a mood for sure.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Matt here. I really like this album. I know the first one pretty well too. And Pilar really likes this one. She actually has the record for this. So I listened to this one on just pure unfiltered vinyl, baby. And it was great. Just like what everybody said, just super smooth all the way. I love the saxophone. So it just pops up and it just really complements her voice really well. I thought this album, like, it just plays really well as an album. It's like it doesn't like there's some like big songs, but like it just feels very like level and it keeps me in a good place the whole time. there's like not a lot of songs I would like really want to skip, and not a lot of songs that like I think are just like so much better than the rest of them. You know, it's just like a really like nice listen all the way through. Sweetest Taboo is probably the biggest song on this album, which is really good. Um, I like Jezebel too. Um, I really like Punch Drunk. I think that's a song. It's kind of more disco-y. Yeah, I like that one. That one was cool too. And I like Tar Baby at the end. Um, yeah, awesome album from Sade. Big fan. Um, yeah,
All right. I've I need to listen to more R&B because I really like this album, and I went and listened to Lovers Rock after this. And you know what? I like this a lot more. I feel like the production on this is a lot more lush. Um, I really like I just like how dreamy the whole vibe is. But I think that like, you get Is It a Crime? You get like this, huge big band opening, and then it sort of fades into like more chill, like bongos. But then you get songs like Never As Good As the First Time, which is like almost a funk song. I think, you can go from like a disco song to a funk song to just something really chill, and it all feels like it just flows into each other super well. I'm gonna listen to, what was the first album called? Diamond something.
Diamond
Diamond
Life.
Life.
Diamond Life, you'll like that a lot.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
listen to that one. I'm a big
That one
fan.
probably has her like biggest songs on it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's. I'd have to listen to it again. I don't know which one I like more. I gotta listen to it again. Anyway, sorry.
No, you definitely turned me on to the new artist that I'm definitely gonna want to explore. And if you have any adjacent artists that you can recommend that are sort of in the same vein, then I would definitely be down to listen to those too.
Well, you're in luck there, my friend. We've got
All right,
plenty,
cool.
plenty for you.
Cool.
I did want to say one thing about Sade's career, though, which I find really interesting, was that all her career spans almost 40 years. Like her first three albums come out within 4 years of each other, and then it's four years until the next one, 8 years until the next one, another 10 years until Lovers Rock or until Soldier of Love, and then like hasn't put out anything since. So we're due for the shot. 13
Better
years
come
later,
back.
we're due for the shot album.
Better.
I think she is coming out with new music.
Is she?
Yeah, I think I heard that, and she's also going on tour soon.
That'd be
Hell
awesome.
yeah! I'd love to see
I'd have to
Sade
look that
live.
up to verify, but I remember Pilar talking about that.
That'd be a good thing to see live. Just like
That would be like that. That's a baby making concert right there.
yeah, smooth shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, according to Pitchfork, Sade is recording new music.
Oh yeah. Keep an eye out though.
Sweet.
Well, I'm glad we had the chance to bring somebody who is just absolutely influential across genres this week. Like I think Sade has an outsized impact for like the music that she's put out. When you're talking about hip hop production, you're talking about modern R&B or modern neo soul. Like a lot of it comes back to Sade, and I think it's I just am chuffed that you guys liked it this much. I'm gonna give this album. This album for me was a 9, definitely a solid 9. It would be a little higher, I think, if it was a little tighter as an album. In the sense that I think it's long. It's just under. It comes in just under an hour. And I think there are probably some parts that could have been a little streamlined, but I think that's just sort of a modern taste thing. But still, on the strength of the production, on the consistency of the album from front to back, I think this album does a lot for me. So I'm gonna give it a 9.